All right, guys, I'm really excited to bring you this video today. I get asked a question a lot. If I could only buy one of these cars, GT40 or a Daytona Coupe, which would I buy and why? And you know what's funny? I don't even know the answer to that right now, so I'm super excited to make this video today. Miller's on the other end. He's gonna chime in. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so I just want you to know this is coming from a place who has a lot of experience with both of these cars. So I'm not like a reviewer that you'd see online that gets one day with them and gets in them and then gives you their opinion. I actually have about 10,000 miles of driving time behind GT40s, and I've also got a couple thousand miles in Daytona Coupes. I've owned 5 of these GT40s. I've owned 2 of these Daytona Coupes, including the first gen Superformance and now the second gen Shelby CSX car. So hopefully that gives a little validity to what we're about to do today. Now, the first thing we have to do with both of these cars is we're gonna do a sit-in test and a get-in test. Now, I'm 5'11" and 220 pounds. So we're just gonna get in, and this will be our first test of whether or not you like this car. If, depending on this, maybe you've already made your choice. But how you get into a GT40 is you go ahead and you sit on the fuel cell. That's what this is. You roll your other foot in and then you drop down. Now, 10,000 miles of driving in this car is a lot, so you can imagine how many times I've gotten in and out of this car, but it's super comfortable. The way they designed this seat, I feel like I'm sitting in a great position. The most driving I've done is 2,700 miles over 6 days, which is a lot, so I'm very comfortable in this car. We will talk more about the practicality of this though in a minute. So before we do that, let's go get in the Daytona Coupe. All right, guys, the door on the GT40 is actually easier to open than the Daytona. This little handle makes it a little more difficult, and surprisingly, I find this car more difficult to get into. And maybe it's because I'm a bigger guy, but you'll notice my head's about to get swapped by this side, so I have to actually turn my head to get in, whereas the GT40, I just kind of fell into the car. But now in a seating position, so I'm actually really comfortable. I have plenty of headroom. I feel a little tighter, to be honest. Believe it or not, the GT40 feels a little bit wider on the driver's side, and rightfully so. The driver's side seat in the GT40 is actually bigger because the transmission and the gearbox is shifted over to the side. So the passenger in the GT40 is actually very uncomfortable. Now, this feels very similar to a Shelby Cobra. So if you've driven a Cobra or sat in a Cobra, it's a very similar tunnel where your legs go. But overall, very comfortable car. At my height, I'm kind of at the very top of the window. So the eyesight, sometimes I like to lean down a little bit while I'm driving. But overall, I think as far as the initial getting in and out of the car, the GT40 wins. Okay, we wanted to make this video, and the purpose is if you wanted to buy one or the other, or you ever dreamed of owning one or the other, and maybe that's a goal for you one day. So everything we're approaching from this is a little bit of objectivity and subjectivity from my perspective. So we're gonna do our best to where you can make your decision based on just this video without ever having to set foot in one of these things. Now we're gonna go to the exterior, and I think what we wanna talk about real quick is actually, what are you looking for? Are you looking to get just insane amounts of attention and be screaming down the road and making so much noise that your friend down the street texts you and goes, hey, nice to hear you have the GT40 out today. I was in my house with headphones on and heard you. Like, that's this car, and that, by the way, is a true story. Or do you want something that is a little more downplayed, it's not as loud, it's more classy. Now this has a great look to it, and we'll get more into that later. And you're just looking for something that's more of a touring car and something that people come up to you at a gas station and go, what is that? That is a cool car. Like, that's what I get with this. So this is insanity. I've had purple Lamborghinis, I've had everything. Nothing has ever grabbed the public's attention like this car ever in my life. This has massive cool factor. Most people don't even know what it is. So it's a different type of attention, but a lot of attention just the same. Now, if I'm rating it from a score of wanting attention in a car, the winner by all means is the GT40. Hands down. All right, so now we're gonna talk about practicality. Now, if I'm gonna buy one of these, obviously it's not gonna be your daily driver. It could. I have daily driven this. I've showed up at a gas station on Monday and a group of guys in a truck came by and like, where are you going? And I'm like, to work. And they're like, you drive that to work? I'm like, yes, I drive this to work. Now, if I'm by myself, let's talk about the practicality behind that. I do have storage. It's right here, and that's about it. So if you're driving this car a lot by yourself, you can make it work. In fact, when I did the 2,600 mile or 2,700 mile road tour, all my luggage was right here, and I was just going. You do have these really convenient little storage spaces, but as you can see from mine, they're both completely full. That one has stuff that I need, maybe some extra oil or whatnot in case I'm going on a long drive. And this one has like a phone charger, a terry cloth, and my registration, stuff like that. So from a practicality standpoint, I can already tell you this car is gonna lose, but it also depends on if you're always by yourself. Now, if you're married like me, now my wife does not care about these cars as much and doesn't ride in them because they're a little loud for her, but we're gonna show you the practicality of this car. Same thing applies here. If you don't have a passenger, you do have plenty of room. You do have a compartment here, it's very small. You do have some room behind the seats. So like back here, I've got a fire extinguisher. I've got some extra oil, which is stuck back there. Yep, we're not getting that out. And then I put like, again, a cloth back here. But one thing this car has that the other one doesn't is you have a massive rear storage space. Now, here's the cool thing about this car for practicality. You could drive this every day, but you can go on a long road trip and be super comfortable. Also, it's not as loud. I will mention that now. This would be a car that I would drive from coast to coast in the United States and not even think a second thing about it. That car, I'd have to be in the mood. So I think the winner on this one is obvious. If you're looking for practicality, this is your ride. So let's talk about power plant. Now, these cars, if you order them from the factory, because they're continuation cars, you can put whatever power plant you want in them. This car happens to have a Roush 427 IR, and it is phenomenal. It's rated for about 525 horsepower. The car weighs 2,300. So let me tell you something. I've had some fast cars in my life. There is nothing like driving this GT40 I've ever experienced in my life. I've had 3 race car drivers ride in and drive this car with me, and they all said the same thing. I've driven a lot of stuff. I've never ridden or driven anything like that before. So from a badass driving perspective, this one's gonna be hard to beat. And let me tell you, when you step on that gas, it puts all this power down. This car goes in a straight line, and every input you put in, you get out. You can tell if you're screwing up or not. Maybe we should go talk about the Daytona because I'm a little conflicted right now. Let's go talk through that one. All right, guys, now on this car, this is a really cool 427 that I had custom built. You can tell it's blacked out. The cool factor in this motor obviously wins out of the two of these, just from a aesthetic perspective. Although the 4GT, definitely there's nothing like that. You look back there, you're like, what the hell's all of the snakes? This car also, I will tell you, does put this power down and keeps you on the road. This car will get in a squat and go, and Miller loves it. He rides with me, he's like, this is awesome. This car weighs about 2,600 pounds, and this motor is actually rated for closer to 580 horsepower. So now, here's the big difference. It's all up here, and that car, it's all behind you. For driving experience, think about this one for a minute. Which one would I prefer? I could tell you this, I have been choosing to drive this a lot more lately over the GT40 because of the way it drives, the shifts, but then I go get in that car and I'm like, oh, this is the best car ever. From a driving perspective, this is what we're gonna do. You can't go wrong with either car. They're both as incredible as each other to drive. I think at the end of the day, the one that wins is the GT40 because I've done so many miles in it and I just love the way it drives. It's so unique. But at the same time, you really can't go wrong. They're just different. That's all I can tell you. So I think as a slight victory, we're gonna put a GT40 win on driving experience. Now, before we show you some driving footage, we're gonna give you actually a passenger perspective because I don't spend much time in the passenger seat. Miller can probably attest more than me, but oh, see, first of all, I hit my head, so.
You're not used to getting in on that side.
Dude, this is way different on the passenger. There is not leg room. Look at my legs. Like, This is me fully extended.
Oh, I know.
I didn't know. I've actually never sat in the passenger seat in this car.
I mean, you can if you want to go take it out real quick. I can
Bro,
drive.
This is, okay, well, and I thought the GTD was bad, or the GT40. You're standing in front of a GTD. The GT40 I thought was bad.
This car is much more comfortable. It's easier to shoot out of. It's easier. You have easier visibility.
For sure.
So cameraman / passenger, you do feel a little safer in this car just because it is a bigger car.
Good points.
And you don't sit as low, so you don't feel as sketchy. But
Yeah.
this car is also way more comfortable.
I'm also bigger than you, and this is actually less comfortable for me. It's okay, but I'm just like, I feel shoved in the car.
Yep.
Let's go see what the GT40 feels like. Okay, now I'm gonna show you me getting into the car because this is kind of a critical part in the passenger side. I'm not as good at it because I'm not used to getting in here. I would assume I get in the same way, but I gotta do the full effect. All right, let me get this. Now, I will tell you this. Holy cow. Okay, first impression, this is more comfortable. I can stretch my legs out. It's way tighter though, because like I said, the gearbox is pushed to the right. So this is definitely feels like a Recaro seat right now, a really tight Recaro seat. And I would be scared shitless to ride in this.
I think we should do it for a video.
Oh my God. We did it with Haley.
Oh, that's
I rode
right.
with Haley Deegan.
That's right.
Yeah, she kicked my ass in this car. But honestly, this is actually pretty comfortable. I'm gonna close the door and feel it so I can get a little bit better. Oh man, I am definitely, I know, okay, now I understand why when people come back from riding with me, they are like changing their pants. Like this is crazy. I should not be sitting here. This car wasn't really designed for this, but I think honestly, I'm gonna give the passenger seat a win in this car. This is way more comfortable. It's a little tighter this way, but I feel like I have a little bit of room to spread out. So yeah, I think the W goes to the GT40. Actually, you know what? Before I say that, Miller, I'm gonna let you decide, actually. Because
Okay,
you ride in the seat more than me.
We haven't done too many miles in the Daytona
yeah.
yet, but I have done a ton of miles and learned to shoot out of the GT40. So, and been on several rallies in the GT40. I think I would enjoy the Daytona a little bit more just for the not having so much stuff in my lap. I think that'd be my vote.
All right.
So mine's Daytona.
It looks like the Daytona just inched ahead because coming from an actual passenger, we're gonna go with his over mine. So Daytona wins. Our buddy Nick just showed up. He's actually, if you've ever seen me wear the GT40 t-shirts of this car, this is the man who made that happen. So we're just gonna ask him real quick. Today we're doing a video on if I could only buy one of these cars, which one would it be? And we're doing a little rating system. So we like showed him the outside, we showed him the motors, we showed him sitting in it. So at first glance, from an outside perspective, let's talk about the styling.
Oh, GT40 all day.
Yep.
Check mark.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, exactly what we said.
The architecture behind the design is just GT40 all day.
The road presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you, outside of your daily driver, were gonna buy one of these as a second car, which ultimately would you choose?
Personally,
Yeah.
I might have to go with
Oh, dude, this is like so confusing.
and the
This is the most confusing episode ever.
I think the reason is this is a true race car at its core. I'm not saying this doesn't have race car, heritage and things like that, but I think from a comfort of driving, if I wanted to go out on the weekend, if I wanted to take my wife somewhere, I think I'm leaning towards the Daytona.
This is what I love because my wife wants nothing to do with my cars. So this is my choice. He has a wife that wants to do this with him. That is his choice.
Right.
I think we just answered the question. The ultimate question was, which one would I buy? Now we know. It depends on you.
There's no right answer. I mean, if I was single or my wife didn't care about cars, absolutely, I'd take this.
Yeah.
If we were going to a car show and she wanted to come with me, I'm taking that. I mean, I'm going to throw a whole different ball of wax into it, but that's a whole different conversation.
He's pointing at the GTD.
Yeah, any of the other cars sitting behind here might be a different conversation, but that's my take on it.
So it comes down to what your wife picks, which is usually how life goes.
And with that, Miller, why don't you show him us ripping these cars?
Let's do it.